So we're having a quick look at the Transformers Studio Series Rise of the Beasts Deluxe Class Bumblebee that's been released by Takara Tomy. So this is the Japan version, and at first glance, you look at the Hasbro version on the left, Takara Tomy on the right, they seem identical, but trust me, these figures, at least this one, is more than meets the eye. Let's take a closer look at the details of this variant. Now let's begin with the obvious and main difference. It's the paint apps on the face or the head sculpt. You can clearly see that the Takara Tomy version has more silver, and I think a darker shade of silver on the face than this other Bumblebee. I think the Electro Spark blue on the eyes are a little bit darker in this one, or it could just be an illusion created by the silver around the eyes, but it does appear darker. And on the ears, it looks the same. The silver paint on the chest seems to be the same, as well as the biceps, forearms. All the silver paint highlights seem to be the same, with the Takara Tomy being just a smidge more metallic than the Hasbro version. It could just be consistency, it could be on purpose. The second biggest difference, I don't know if you'll see it because the camera isn't as consistent with the colors for this figure. The second difference is really the yellow plastic that they used for the variant version, for the Takara Tomy variant. And you can see that it is a darker, more canary yellow type of plastic than the lighter lemon yellow plastic that they used for the Hasbro version. Now, it's not as apparent in robot mode. Well, maybe if you try and squint your eyes, you'll see it that look at the chest pieces right here, the headlamps. You can see there's a lighter shade of yellow with the Hasbro version than the Takara Tomy. But I think it's most apparent with the Energon blade, the energy blade, I should say. You can see the one on the left right here is the Hasbro version, and it is definitely a lighter shade of yellow compared to the darker, more, I guess, glossier yellow on the right. And like I said, it's more canary yellow. This one's more lemon yellow, and I'm not sure how well the camera's showing it off. Let me know in the comment section if you do see a difference or if it's just my eyes playing tricks on me. But, you know, if I don't look at the camera screen, you can clearly see that this one is a darker shade of yellow compared to the previous version. The third difference that I can see, at least from where I'm standing, is the type of gray paint that they used for the blaster. It's obviously done in yellow plastic. You can see the differences in yellow here. It's more apparent as well. But for the variant version, the Takara Tomy version, they used a less glossier type of gray paint. Don't know if you can see that. You can see the Hasbro version is really glossy. And it's not just the lighting. There's a bright LED light lamp on both of these blasters. And you can see that this has a duller finish or more matte finish than this one. The fourth difference I can see is the type of black plastic that they used for the variant. It's a very subtle difference, but you can see that the Hasbro version has a shinier type of black plastic, and the Takara Tomy has a more matte finish. It does appear very similar, but at certain angles you can see that it's not this new one, the variant, isn't as shiny as the Hasbro version. And you can see it more with the bumper. The grill, we'll see this more in car mode later, but you can see that the Hasbro version has a shinier black plastic for the grill, and Takara Tomy has a more matte, duller finish on the grill. Very small, minute differences. Now let's quickly talk about tightness of joints. If you've seen my unboxing video of this Hasbro version of the Studio Series Bumblebee, you will note that I did mention there was some looseness with the joints, like the elbows, the hips, and especially that ball joint on the head, as well as the hinges right here for the car bits. Okay, now with the Takara Tomy version, it's a very tight ball joint on the neck. You can clearly see right here, it doesn't wobble as much. The elbow, it does have some looseness, but not as super loose as the Hasbro version. As far as the ball joints, it's relatively as loose as well, but a little bit tighter than the Hasbro version. But one thing I did notice is right here, the flaps of the car bits, they are super tight. Like this one, this hinge right here, super tight, as well as this top hinge right here. It's very tight. It really holds everything together in place very nicely, and it's not as loose as this one. So I don't know if that's a consistency thing or it's really a quality control thing. I could have just gotten some bad luck with this Hasbro version that I picked up, but you know, it's just, I thought it was worth mentioning that this variant has actually tighter joints. And here are both of them in car mode. And again, this is the variant. This is the Hasbro release. Very, very subtle differences. But it is there. You can see the better yellow coloration is on the variant, not in the Hasbro version. I mean, I don't know if the camera is getting it really well, but you can see right here, it's a brighter, more stark yellow color on this variant than this one. This one is looking to be a little bit more dull now that I think more of it. Oh, here we go. You can see from the side, there is a really, really sharp difference in yellow color. So yeah, and there you go. This is the variant. This is the Hasbro version. Yeah, definitely a better version with the variant. Some final thoughts. I guess the biggest question is it worth double dipping into this mold? Well, I'm going to say yes. If you've seen my reviews of the Studio Series Rise of the Beast Bumblebee, you will know that I really have high regard for this figure, and I think it is one of the best, if not the best, Studio Series Bumblebee we've had from Hasbro and Takara Tomy. Now, given the fact that the Takara Tomy variant seems to have some better paint apps and colors and color of plastic, I think it's the superior version of this figure. And, you know, if you have the means to do so, if you can get some Japanese import products, by all means, go ahead. Because currently, I checked with, I don't know if my conversion was correct, the prices for the Takara Tomy figures are not that far off from the Hasbro releases compared to, what, 10, 12 years ago. And what's really gotten me excited is, I don't know if this is just a fluke or a one-off thing, or maybe Takara Tomy trying to be sneaky with their releases and trying to make it slightly better than the Hasbro version. What's exciting is I have this feeling that we're somehow slowly going back to that time when the Takara Tomy releases were just a smidge better than the Hasbro releases in terms of color and paint apps. I'm hoping that's the case. But then again, like I said, it could just be a fluke, and you know, this could be the only figure that had that. But I don't think so. I think it's very intentional, and I think Takara Tomy's being very sneaky about this, because years ago they agreed they're going to release this exact same figure. But part of me is really happy that the Japanese version is just slightly better. And you know, I really had a great time collecting two versions of the same figure back in the Generations line, the Combiner Wars, the Prime Wars trilogy, you know what I'm saying? And I honestly think the Takara Tomy guys do a better job in terms of color and paint for Transformers. So we'll have to wait and see for other releases for the Rise of the Beasts line. But fingers crossed, I'm hoping we get to see more of this kind of variation. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think of this variant of this Transformers Studio Series Rise of the Beasts Deluxe Class Bumblebee. Hit that notification bell so you never miss out on any of my latest video reviews. And if it's your first time here, please subscribe. Thanks for watching.